If Steve Jobs had come back to life just to announce this device, I wouldn't have been surprised at all. And the revolution this represents in the world of smartphones is similar to the first Apple iPhone. It's a shame that it's only sold in China. This is probably the first VIVO X200 Ultra unboxing ever filmed in a forest. But I just couldn't resist getting home and recording it in my own studio. I managed to import one from China and bring it to the channel so you can see that in that Asian country, they're already 2 steps ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to technology. Let me introduce you to the new VIVO X200 Ultra. It's kind of like a professional camera attached to a smartphone. And here I'm going to tell you my first impressions of this machine that crushes all the competition without mercy. But is it really as good as they say, or is it just marketing tricks? As you can see, the unboxing is very similar to the VIVO X200 Pro, which you can also find reviewed on this channel. However, as a new feature, which is something to appreciate, they've included the 90-watt fast charger. And here is the VIVO X200 Ultra, also in the best color. I was torn between the black and this one since gray feels too conventional to me. It looks a lot like the X200 Pro that I already tested on this channel, but the red is really distinctive with the black frames. The truth is that it's extremely elegant, and on the camera, it has that red ring that further highlights this smartphone's camera prowess. What about the red? It's kind of mirrored, pretty intense, and with the black or dark gray sides, honestly, it feels really good. It feels even better in your hand, I assure you. It's surprising how light it is. It's made of glass and aluminum, and the ergonomics are very similar to the VIVO X200 Pro. Also, check out these little details. This indentation on the camera control button is the same color as the Zeiss logo, a nod to the camera setup by Zeiss. On the other hand, I like that it's rounded, especially the screen. You can feel those 4 rounded edges. The back is also rounded, but a little less than the screen. Even so, what really stands out is obviously this huge camera module that feels gigantic. I'll talk about it later, and you'll see some photos that I'll also share with you on my Telegram without any loss in quality, so you can download them. And let's talk about the ports. USB Type-C, 2 microphones, 1 of the speakers, and the SIM tray where you can put 2 SIM cards. And check out that blue ring, once again in the same color as Zeiss, which means it has IP69 water and dust protection. As for the camera control button, you'll see it in detail in the review I'll do later. But it's not physical, unlike Apple's. It's not clickable, and I love that. That's what I was expecting from the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But it ended up being a total disappointment, as I said in my video about it. Also, the power and volume buttons have a good travel. On the top, there's the second speaker and microphone. And on the other side, absolutely nothing. And you can see how it feels in the hand, especially with this color. Honestly, I've only had it for a short time, but I like it more and more. On the other hand, even though the camera module is big, really big, you end up getting used to it because it can actually be useful when you rest it on your index finger and use the phone with that extra support. Therefore, what could have been a drawback has actually ended up making this VIVO X200 Ultra more ergonomic to use. And you know, in the very near future, you're going to see the full review. In forests like this, by rivers, in unique landscapes. You already know that I love the blend of beautiful nature and the best technology. And, without a doubt, the combination of this VIVO X200 Ultra and the final review, which you'll see in the coming days, is going to be legendary. And look, this is exactly how it arrived when I imported it. Of course, the language is in English. You just have to go to System and then to More Languages. Notice that Spanish does appear here. You can set it to Spanish without any problem, and all the settings, apps, and so on will show up in Spanish. However, there are still some settings that are in Chinese, but I recommend using Google Translate on any other device with a camera, and you'll see that with the camera it instantly translates any language, including Chinese. Obviously, it comes with the Play Store, and something I've been asked a lot is whether it has Android Auto, because until now it was difficult to import a smartphone from China that supported Android Auto. In this regard, it has it right from the start, so I suspect that the company VIVO knew this smartphone would be imported a lot from Europe, and they decided to include it from the beginning. The interface really reminds me of the iPhone, which I like because I'm coming from an iPhone. In fact, I'll probably switch my iPhone for this VIVO X200 Ultra, and everything runs extremely smoothly, as expected with this Snapdragon 8 Elite. I also really liked the screen. It's a step up in quality compared to the VIVO X200 Pro, since this one has a higher resolution and it's also slightly bigger. Look at how you can see the details, both the flower and the spider. It's amazing to enjoy any content on this screen, although you'll see this in more depth in the final review I'll do in a few days. Something curious, by the way, about the case, which I haven't seen mentioned in other videos, is that on the edge of the camera, it has certain grooves that mimic the camera module inside. Honestly, it's a pretty thoughtful detail from VIVO. And also, I really liked the quality of the silicone case, considering that it's a very high-end device. Let's focus on the most important aspect of this smartphone, its camera module. In other words, its photography. Here I'm only going to show you a few photos, the first ones I've been able to take, but you'll see that they're impressive. And the most important thing is that I'm going to leave them for you on my Telegram at the highest resolution, meaning uncompressed, so you can download them and view them at full resolution on your devices. And obviously, whoever buys a VIVO X200 Ultra does so mainly for its photographic quality. Look at the detail it has. It's impressive. The focus, too. I think there's a pretty clear improvement compared to the Pro, especially in terms of detail. In the flowers, the sharpness, and the dynamic range. It's spectacular. And look here. How is it focusing on both the flower and the spider? I hadn't even noticed there was a spider there. And the phone, also thanks to artificial intelligence, has been able to detect both focal points, both the flower and the spider. And take a look at this small video sample. You can also see the spider in the video mode on this VIVO X200 Ultra. I can tell you, by the way, that it was about the size of a lentil, really, but this beast focuses extremely well. And these have been my first impressions. Honestly, my hype is pretty high. And you know, if you want a unique review, because there's no one in Spain who makes them like this, in the most lush, natural settings there are. Subscribe so you don't miss it, leave me a like on this video, and share it with those who might be interested. The best technology available today. It's absolute perfection that it's not sold globally, but I think VIVO was aware of this and implemented certain features, which you'll see in the main review I'll do later, that make it a bit more global, quote unquote. Without a doubt, what I'm liking most about this VIVO X200 Ultra is the camera, or rather, the cameras. Remember that below I'll leave you a Telegram link so you can download them without losing any quality. But the screen is also a step forward. The sound has been improved, and the vibration motor has also been improved quite a bit, along with several other aspects you'll see soon. For now, I can only say thank you, VIVO, for doing things differently, because as of today, this phone has no competition. You already know the most complete review will be here on this channel soon. And now, see you in the next video. Take care and see you soon.